Hey guys, welcome to the 716 Sports Entertainment Podcast Friday Night SmackDown Review Edition. And I don't know, Sean, was this the worst episode of SmackDown of the year of our TKO? I kind of think that it was, but let's break it all down. As always, I'm Mike, joined with Mr. Sean O'Neill, and yeah, this was a rough one, Sean. This was a really bad episode of SmackDown. We got a lot of complaining to do, I'm afraid.
So, as far as the year of our Lord TKO, yes, I think this was the worst. As far as worst SmackDown ever, I wouldn't go quite that far. The one positive that I'll get out of the way for me right off the bat here for this that I'm not going to complain about is the actual wrestling on the show. The matches themselves, everything that took part as far as the wrestling and that goes was incredible. They did very good jobs with that. It was everything else around that stuff that seemed like it was all over the place.
Yeah. We won't go in any particular order, but we'll start with the main event, which, was the night-long narrative of Cody Rhodes versus Sami Zayn versus Jacob Fatu to gain a spot in the Elimination Chamber, which saw Cody Rhodes win by some nonsense. And as we mentioned, right, and I want to just preface this as we go, almost all of the wrestling on this show was excellent. But with that said, the caveat for this was Drew McIntyre obviously found himself getting involved in the finish of this match, came down to the ring, initially, nailed Jacob, threw him out of the ring, and then went after Cody, hit Cody with the Claymore, threw Sammy's hand over Cody, which should have allowed Sami to then pick up the win. That would have been the correct and better booking here, but no. And I think this is gonna. What I don't like about this is, and I've mentioned on this channel, I'm a Cody fan. So what's going to concern me a little bit here is like this just actively does nothing for anybody. I think this turns the crowd on Cody, kind of makes Sami look like a chump, makes Jacob look like a trump, and makes Drew look like a doofus because he just then leaves and is up the like walking up the ramp as like Sami or as Cody kicks out. So then Cody kicks out, Drew comes back to the ring, gets nailed with a haluva kick by Sami. And then Cody gets right up, one crossroads, pins Sami 1, 2, 3, and he's going to the Elimination Chamber. This was terrible booking. Sami should have won, or Jacob should have won. Like,
It was a
I don't know. I don't even know where to go with this. Like, this just seems ridiculous to me a little bit.
it was a pretty vicious crossroads, I'll give you that. But I'm
Sure.
still of the mind that this match, especially with the way this match went, that this is going to be a fatal four way at WrestleMania. Like, there's no way that you're keeping your Drew attacking all three of these guys. There's no way you can't have all three of them involved in the actual match. But you're 100% right. If you're Drew teleported to the ring, took out Jacob, took out Cody, they should have had Sami win there. It was perfect storytelling wise, because then you could have Cody pissed off that Sami got the win. You could have Jacob pissed off about it, acting like, oh, well, Drew helped you. There's 1,000 different ways you could have taken that storyline. You know what I mean? And then my problem with Cody kicking out is it's sending Cody down a path real similar to what we saw with Super Cena, where he overcame absolutely everything and nobody could beat him when it mattered. And that's honestly one of the big reasons why people turned on John Cena is because of Super Cena. And I'm real worried that that's what's going to start happening with Cody. And I was waiting, like when I was watching the end of that match, I was preparing myself for there to be boos when he won. And I was kind of shocked that there weren't. So I don't know if it was a case of WWE doing the sound over it, but they keep going the path they're going. The fandom is going to turn on Cody.
Sure. So Cody's going to win the Elimination Chamber, right? Like, I mean,
As of right
how can
now,
he
I
not?
can't see anybody else.
Yeah, how can he not?
The only thing that I could see happening is if either Jacob or Sami find their way in like a last chance match, and they end up coming out of nowhere to win. because they're the only other feasible, believable people that make sense to win the chamber.
Yeah. Just I don't know. I feel like they had an opportunity here to book this better, and I wouldn't necessarily just put this completely into the bad because, like I said, the match was great, and like you knew it was going to come, but the finish is like how you leave them, right? And I think the finish for this was just not good. I
It
think
was
they could have done a
overbooked.
better job with this. Yeah, so it was an overbooked mess, which
And
kind of was the whole theme of this show, if you will.
so, real quick before we get move on to the next thing, with the way Drew put Sami over Cody, I'm still firmly of the belief that Sami is leaving WrestleMania as champ. I think that that story makes the most sense. Like you keep treating Sami like an afterthought, sort of like they did with EO last year, and I wouldn't
Mhm.
be surprised if they had him come out of nowhere to get the win. I don't think he'll hold the belt for very long, maybe a couple months, but I think that, and mind you, I am for the longest time I was a Sami hater, and for me to say that I think he should have won this match is a surprise coming from me.
Yeah, honestly, I agree with you. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know what else to say. I'm just like, it seems like a foregone conclusion to me that Cody's going to win the Elimination Chamber, and I don't really like that.
No, I don't like when we have PLEs where the ending is already predetermined. It takes the fun out of it. Like any
I
of
mean,
these
wrestling
title
is
matches,
predetermined, but still, like, I want some mystery to it, right? Like, if Cody wasn't in this match at all, then it's like, oh,
yeah.
could go a lot of ways with this. Randy could win, you know, but I don't know. I don't see it now. So
I
I
also
don't
think
know.
it was a little bit of a mistake having all three of these guys in one elimination chamber match. I think it comes across as kind of stupid to me as far as like a general manager kind of thing goes, because it's like, why wouldn't you want each of these guys to have a chance to be in the chamber at the same time? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Which takes us to the other Elimination Chamber match, which saw Alexa Bliss defeating Zelina Vega and Giulia to gain her spot in the Elimination Chamber. I guess the one good thing about this is that Giulia didn't get pinned this time.
Finally,
But, with that said, again, like, we kind of teased a little thing with Alexa Bliss and Charlotte, where Alexa seemed a little bit pissed backstage that, Charlotte knocked her out of the Royal Rumble. At least they kind of attempted to pay off that story. But, where are we going with this? Like, are we going to get to WrestleMania? And is there going to be a match at WrestleMania between these two? Or are we going to just delay that even further and use the Triple H, molasses level of storytelling here with this? And like, you had every opportunity again to just put Giulia in this match. Now, she's absolutely not going to be in the match now. But like, why is Alexa in this match? Is it just star power?
I think you're going to see Charlotte get into it too. And I think you're going to see Alexa eliminate Charlotte to make up for the Royal Rumble. And I think that's where your storyline goes with that for WrestleMania. And I think that's where you get your Mania match between the two of them. And honestly, Julie is another one that if they do a last chance match to get in, I can see her being one of the people in that match to get in. My problem, I agree though. Like finally, they did the smart thing and didn't have a champion get take the eat the pin. And then obviously the other noteworthy thing I think out of this match was Zelina debuted a new entrance theme.
Well, it was Aleister Black's entrance thing.
Yeah, it was his remixed a little bit.
Just, but again, just make a new star. Like Alexa's already a star. So I mean, if your plan is what you said, and you're going to put Alexa and Charlotte in this together, fine. But like again, how much more down the card do we have to bury our United States champion? Like, just let her have her win. Uh, she doesn't
I mean,
win any. It's so obnoxious to me. She doesn't win anything. She loses more than she wins, and she's the champion.
and she doesn't have
That's so
anybody to face either.
I know it's so annoying to me to watch. She she gets no reaction when she comes out. B, she loses all the time, so why would anybody react to her? Like it's terrible booking. And I hate it that she's such a good wrestler. And they book her into oblivion. It's ruthless.
She needs to be on Raw. I don't know what whoever it is, like what Road Dogg, because he's the head booker for SmackDown, what his issue with her is that they book her the way that they do. But she really needs to be on Raw. She needs to be facing better competition. And
Yep.
I'm still convinced that that's the problem. But as far as the Elimination Chamber goes, especially on the women's side as well, the rate we're standing, that match is going to be incredibly predictable too.
Tiffany's gonna win.
Exactly. Unless Bianca Belair appears out of nowhere, Tiffany is going to win. And every day it's looking less and less likely that we're going to have Bianca Belair return.
I mean, if Bianca doesn't show up in the next 2 weeks, she's not
It
coming
has
back
to be,
until after. Yeah,
and at that
we
point,
won't
it
see
has to be
Bianca until
Tiffany.
after WrestleMania at all.
I mean, unless they're going to give us a random person who wins on the Raw side, which I don't think makes sense, because honestly, they're mainly using Raw people, I think, as filler for this match because they don't have enough intel, like smart women on the SmackDown side. Um, I think that it has to be Tiffany.
Yeah. Takes me to women on the SmackDown side. So we had to open the show, we had Rhea and Io against Lash Legend and Nia Jax, which initially Tiffany was in the ring, excuse me, to talk about her win last week and how she's going to go to WrestleMania, as we just mentioned, right? To which Nia and Lash came out, interrupted her, and basically like, no, it's going to be us. We're going to win these tag belts, and then we're going to go in Elimination Chamber and win. Which brought out Rhea and Io, who said the same thing, and then they had their match, which didn't go very long and ended in a no contest as everybody just beat the crap out of each other outside of the ring and actually ended in a count out, technically. And then they all just beat the crap out of each other. I mean, Rhea is in the Elimination Chamber. Io is probably going to be in the Elimination Chamber. And you have them in two separate feuds. But again, other than star power, why are Rhea and Io in the Elimination Chamber?
Yeah,
It's a spot. That's a spot for Giulia. That's a spot for Jordynne Grace, who we'll talk about in a minute. That's a spot for Zelina Vega. It's a spot for new stars. And instead, you've got Rhea Ripley and likely Io Sky who are going to be in that match. Again, make new stars.
I would be fine if it was Tiffany, Alexa, and Charlotte filling up three of the spots in the Elimination Chamber, and then the other three spots taken up by um like newer people like Giulia, Jordynne Grace, and hell, even Zelina. Or you bring someone up like Sol Ruka. There's doesn't
Oh, Ruka. Yeah.
I don't for the life of me understand why they're doing elimination chamber matches on Raw. This isn't for a Raw title.
Well,
Like,
it isn't because, but Liv hasn't declared yet.
yeah, but
We
these
all know
are
it's
if
going to be Stephanie. We all know it's going to be Stephanie. They make it seem like it's going to be Jade, but it's going to be Stephanie.
yeah, and I think that's hurting things. You know what I mean? Because then you should have this as a SmackDown thing and get these women in there. Um, because it's just like it seems dumb to me to have Rhea and Io in there when you know they're not going to win because they're doing the defending of the tag belts.
Tag belts. Yep.
And
That's
then
exactly
as
that's exactly the point, right?
as far as this quasi match went, I still think the more and more I see Lash Legend, even after the Royal Rumble and them trying to make her have her star moment there, I think she needed more time in NXT. She still doesn't quite look prepared to me just watching her. And we all know our opinion of Nia Jax, but I guess I'm okay with this ending in a no contest more or less. And the way it ended was kind of exciting with everybody being taken out.
I mean, I guess so, but like it just annoys me like about Rhea and Io, like to your
Yeah,
point, right? Like why why? They're the
it's
tag
a waste
team
of space.
champs. It's a waste of them being in this elimination chamber. Just have if you need Rhea and Io to be on the show, You could have done this match on Elimination Chamber.
There's plenty
This
of
could have
tag
been
teams
a
that they could have faced.
yeah. This match could have happened on Elimination Chamber. And
And
don't
ended the
tell me
exact
you're
same way.
saving right. And don't tell me you're saving it for WrestleMania because, like, let's be honest, it's going to be a multi-person match for WrestleMania. It's going to be them versus Lash and Nia versus the Bellas versus Bailey and Lyra.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Versus the Judgment
Hell,
Day, maybe.
you could have. Yeah, I know we already did a thing with Lyra, but why isn't Bailey in the Elimination Chamber? What are we doing with Bailey?
Well, I
You know,
mean, we're still
sitting
going
in
to have some more
catering.
Smack. We're still going to have some more Raw matches. So
I don't know. Just so irritating to me.
I agree.
Which which leads me to the next thing, which saw the MFTs interrupt Ilya and Carmelo, who were going to have their U.S. title match, and it just led into this weird hodgepodge 5-on-5 MFTs versus Mello, Apollo Crews, and Matt Cardona, who just were randomly backstage, Ilya Dragunov, and randomly Shinsuke Nakamura.
So
What? I mean, this was fine. It was a fun TV match to have on TV. No consequence at all to this match. And the MFTs did pick up the win, which they probably should have because they're a champion. And holy cow, a champion won. But again, Mello took the pin.
there's a reason for that.
I know. But again, you had a perfectly good Apollo Crews here to take the pin.
No, the reason they had Melo take the pin is, and it's the same reason Shinsuke was in the match, is because they've been building up Tama Tonga as a threat to Melo and the belt. And that's why you had Tama Tonga get the win on Melo. Because I think he's going to be your next. Once they finish and have the Ilya Melo match, I think you're going to see Tama Tonga be a thorn in Melo's side. It was good to see Apollo Crews back after his injury and actually able to compete again. And I mean, I give these random matches like this credit. You need to fill 3 hours of time, and
Sure. That's
for a
fine.
10
It
man
was
tag match, it was pretty exciting.
No, I mean it was fine. It was standard WWE booking. Followed the standard multi-person match in WWE. Everybody got a chance to do one of their big moves, and
Yep.
the bunch of hot tag opportunities, and it was fine. But I just
Yeah, no, I think this was just a case of this was a bigger match being used to set up
fill for fill 40
future
minutes.
storylines. And I think my real biggest complaint about this was the fact that the Wyatt Sicks showed up afterwards.
Oh, the cartoon characters. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's, and mind you, I'm still a big Bray Wyatt fan, and I love the idea that they're still trying to honor him with this, but they have just done such a terrible job with it.
hmm Yeah, I don't need it. I don't need it anymore. I need Bo Dallas to like actually wrestle. Like,
Yeah,
this thing has been going on for what, 2 years now at this point? Like, I need Bo Dallas to actually wrestle. Like,
yeah, get him in matches.
that would be fun. Like, let's have him wrestle. Like, if you want me to take this group seriously. Um, which led to the next thing, which I get it again. Trick Williams defeating Ray Phoenix. I like Trick Williams. They're booking him to be awesome. They're doing a very good job with Trick Williams booking, but it should not have been at the expense of Ray Phoenix. Like, why? Ray Phoenix is another one, like Giulia. Why does he always lose? He always loses. Like, why did this guy want to come to WWE, like, at all? Has he won anything? Has he won a match?
When he
Like,
was paired with Andrade,
yeah, like when he was paired with Andrade, but like, does this dude win anything at all? All this dude does is lose all the time. It's just it's so obnoxious to me. And I know I'm complaining a lot, but man, this episode of SmackDown, it didn't leave me with a shortage of things to be like annoyed with.
oh no, you're not wrong. This was and like we said at the start of the show, the wrestling itself was fine. It
This
was
match was
everything around it.
spectacular.
the booking decisions, everything, the ending decisions, the storyline decisions, a lot of it just makes no sense. And I mean, every single match that Ray Phoenix is in is a barn burner. And
Mm.
Trick Williams is being presented as a legitimate threat to become huge. And
Yeah.
I don't understand how Ray Phoenix has taken over the role of Dragon Lee.
Mm.
And I don't know who he pissed off backstage or what he did, that every single thing that he does results in a loss, especially with how good he looks in the ring. Like, give this guy a chance. You know what I mean? And I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
Trick
Or
Williams
just
and
move
those
him.
lemon pepper steppers, though, fantastic.
Just move him to Raw and pair him with Penta at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know what we're waiting for at this point too, because Penta loses a lot too. So like, I don't know.
Yeah, but
At
Penta
least
loses a lot in big matches, like in big storyline matches.
Penta also looks like a star. Penta has been presented like a star though. Ray Phoenix
Yeah.
has not. So I don't know. Which takes us to the Disaster Castle, which is again your women's SmackDown champion, Jade Cargill, burying Jordynne Grace, who now is absolutely not going to be in the Elimination Chamber because that would not be believable at all because she just got destroyed and she going into the Elimination Chamber. And even if she was to win, would anybody believe it? Like, I mean, it's just, it would be the same thing that they did with Jey Uso, where he lost to Gunther and then immediately won the Royal Rumble 2 weeks later. It's like I don't know. You could have given her a much better showing. And I know you wanted to talk about this a little bit because you had some stats for this for Jade Berg, but please go
So
ahead.
my big thing about this is you have a newer woman to the roster, and why do you have her lose clean like that? Like if this would have had a murky ending, a dusty finish of some sort, I think that could have protected Jordan a little bit.
Liv getting
Um,
involved?
I mean, yeah, you had the Judgment Day right at ringside there, Dom with his bottle of Dom, and some like you could have had something, even if it was like an accident that someone hit somebody, and that would have protected your newer star. And but like you said, how is it going to be believable if you put Jordan up against her again? I mean, Jordan looked good in what she was doing, and I mean, my complaints about Jade are still the same. She doesn't sell particularly well. I mean, she did the arm injury sell at least a little bit better this time. Like after the match, she kept it going. But I think as far as stats go, so this match was her 100th day as the title holder. This was her first title defense. How do you go 100 days and not defend your title once? Any other title other than Dom would have been stripped of that title, like completely, or forced to defend it. And I don't understand WWE's need to protect Jade like this. I mean, I understand they invested a ton money wise into her, but they had to know what they were getting, especially when they had her skip NXT. Like, if she is a prime example of somebody who should have come in through developmental and did.
Yeah, everything you said is accurate, and I just I don't know where we're going with this. I mean, I worry that when thinking about it, I worry that they're gonna just have like unless it's Tiffany, which seems like the obvious choice. I wonder if they're just gonna have Liv and Jade do their thing.
And then what? You
Well,
have Rio win the Elimination Chamber?
or you have Tiffany challenge Stephanie.
They've already done that, though, at Saudi or whatever, or Australia, one of those shows. Um, I mean, I guess it would be for it would be a switch. And I mean, the positive out of it is that Jade would lose the belt because I can't imagine that Liv would lose.
I mean, Liv and Stephanie seems like the match, and right now Tiffany and Jade seems like the match.
And honestly, I hate to say it, but I could see WWE having Jade go over Tiffany.
Probably.
I don't see if it were Liv, I don't see her going over Liv. I could see. I don't think probably 80% certain that Liv beats Stephanie too. I mean, I could see them throwing a swerve maybe in there with that one. But if it's Liv Jade, Liv 100% wins. And I detest the thought of the promos between them because Liv would absolutely bury Jadeberg.
Oh, 100%.
I
Yeah.
mean, we saw it
That
here.
I'm that bitch. Okay.
I think we're
Liv
allowed to say that on here.
yeah,
Um,
Liv would talk circles around her. Like she would absolutely talk circles around her.
Liv could have Raquel talk, and Raquel would talk circles around her. And listening to Raquel talk is like listening to a snail sometimes.
So
Like, I mean, we saw it at the end of this match when she got in Liv's face and was like, "Oh, if you choose me, that's your ass right there." That was a direct recording of the end of that match.
so bad. So bad. It's just I didn't want this whole show to be negative. So I want to end, you know what? I want to end on a positive.
Yeah, let's talk positive here.
Kit Wilson's awesome. Kit Wilson is hysterical with his toxic
Uh,
masculinity character, and that whole segment backstage with him and Nick Aldis and R-Truth and them talking about Obafemi and Damian Priest was there too, and that was hysterical. So
and then
go Kit
Oba.
Wilson, do
And
your
then did
thing.
you please tell me you saw the part where Oba was back there too?
No, I must
Oh
have
yeah.
missed that.
So so he came back in when Aldis was talking to Oba, and Aldis was like, "Oh, what? You got another poem for me?" And Oba was like, "Well, why don't you read it?"
I love it.
And so Kit read it. And it set up a match. So we're about to see Kit Wilson get murdered next week. It's gonna be
Yes.
funny as all hell.
Yes. So that is the good. We'll end that on the good. Kit Wilson is the man, and I enjoy him a lot. He's the best thing on
You
SmackDown. Is
you you
embarrassing.
100% need to put the ending to this match as Kit Wilson's theme song, or the ending of this
Yes.
show as Kit Wilson's theme song.
There you go. So that is our show, guys. Thank you so much, as always, for joining us. But what is your final rating for SmackDown?
Uh, I don't want to give it. I'll give it a two. I don't want to give it below that. The only reason it's getting a two is because of the wrestling. It's the fact that what we're actually here for, in addition to the storylines, is the action, and the action is the only thing I think that and Oba and Kit saved this.
Yeah. No, I will give you that. Except for the Jade Berg match, all of the wrestling on this show was fantastic. All of the wrestling on this show. And it's always good because WWE really does have some of the best wrestlers in the world. So the
Yep.
wrestling is always going to be good. It's just, man, you got to do a better job with the storytelling. So I agree with you. And with that, my final rating for the show is a toxic masculinity out of 5. So that is our show, guys. As always, thank you so much for joining us. We, look forward to hearing your comments down below as to what you thought of the show. Let us know if we were a bit too negative because I kind of felt like we were a bit too negative this time. So hopefully, when we review Raw in the next couple of days here, it'll be a much better show and we'll have a much better time talking about that show and being able to break that down for you as we move to Elimination Chamber, which is 2 weeks from yesterday. So, with that, I have been Mike, joined by Mr. Sean O'Neill. Have yourselves a fantastic day and take care.